Hello everyone, it's Diana Marchand from Raw Foods Made Simple. I'm here to talk to you today about kids and eating healthy. I get a lot of comments and emails from parents asking about some tips or recipes for healthy eating for kids. And one of the first things I have to say is that, of course, being a good role model and having good foods at home is the most important thing. And not just you yourself, but members of the family. So you may have a smaller child who may easily be influenced by older siblings, or even a parent figure who may not like something and kind of exaggerates about not liking something. I think it's really important that the people of the family learn that if they don't like something, just to be silent about it and not discourage someone else from trying it. Kids at a very young age, especially below school age, are pretty instinctual eaters. They'll eat when they're hungry, they won't eat when they're not hungry. And they'll eat things they like, and they really don't want to eat things that they don't like. It's not like they're trying to rebel against you or to get you mad at them. They may have sensitivities or something to a certain food that they refuse to eat. Maybe it bothers their stomach. So we have to be very conscious about this. There's a lot of allergies and sensitivities to various foods now. If your child is refusing to eat something, they may not be able to say it is because it makes them hurt. I remember when I was younger, it was a lot of dairy and pastas. They didn't make my stomach feel very good. And so I didn't really like eating them too much. So that isn't, but I don't think I really was able to say that. I think I just said, no, I don't want any. I also grew up in a age when my parents would make us sit at the table until we finished everything on our plate. I never did this with my daughter. Luckily, she is a good eater, but I didn't want to make eating a time full of anxiety and stress. That can have the wrong type of effect on a child. Of course, you're not going to say, okay, don't eat, and then an hour later they ask for candy and you give it to them. I don't agree with that at all. I think that if they're not hungry at the moment and they get hungry maybe an hour and a half later, what they will eat or what you should give them to eat, of course, is nutritious food. No junk, no dessert until they have eaten what there was for supper, or a good nutritious food that they choose now they're ready to eat. I think kids under the age of school age also are not trying to starve themselves. They don't know about anything like that, so they're not purposely trying to starve themselves. If they are really not hungry for a little phase in their life and you think that they're eating so little and you're really worried about it, of course get it checked out from a doctor to make sure that there are no physical things that are going on in their digestive system or their body, or no illness or disease that is happening to them so that they don't want to eat, that they've actually completely lost their appetite. It's usually little phases, they get over them. There's also phases what they like to eat and what they don't like to eat. That, who knows, it could be that their body at certain times is finally able to digest things better. I don't know, but that is a big part of my guess, because I have also had digestive issues. So I know that if something doesn't agree with your stomach, you really stay away from it. And it is not because you're trying to piss your parents off or anything, it's because it doesn't make you feel good. So if you can communicate with your child, if they really don't want to eat something, and find out why, that may help a lot. Also, you don't want to have siblings or a husband or any, of the adults really putting down a certain food and saying, I don't like it, I'm not going to taste it, I'm not going to try it, because that will definitely influence the younger ones. So you want to make sure that everybody doesn't voice a strong opinion. If they don't like something, just leave it alone, because someone else may want to try it and may actually like it. We all have different tastes. Also, fruit. Young kids usually like fruit. I think fruit contains vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and protein. And if we say, no, you can't have fruit because, let's say, it's a snack or it's a snack or a morning thing, I don't want you to have it in the afternoon, it might spoil your dinner, etc., etc. Yet you know they're not eating very well, then I encourage you and I encourage them to definitely, if they are liking fruit, let them have the fruit. But that is the natural fruit too. I don't mean fruit juices that are from concentrate and really high in sugar and glycemic index. I mean the real fruit that contains the fiber. Bananas, apples, oranges, pears, anything like that. And of course, if they're organic, that is the best. If not, peel it if they have, if it's like an apple. So just make sure to peel it. We don't want them having any more chemicals in their body. Also, junk food, of course, junk food. And that can include granola bars, cookies, and crackers that you buy at a grocery store. I mean, they are laden with chemicals, preservatives, and food dyes. Read the labels. Read the labels of everything you buy for your child. Because you will see, literally, you will see the hundreds of ingredients that are in some of these things. And you can't even pronounce them, or you don't even know what they are. These are chemicals. These are food dyes. They also find ways of disguising MSG and food preservatives by calling them things like natural flavorings, or soy lecithin, or soy whey protein, things like this. Soy is very high in allergens, so there's extremely a large population that is allergic to soy, wheat, and dairy. Also gluten, but more, of course, for wheat. So that is something you have to be conscious of. If you look at packaged and processed foods, they're full of fillers. They are full of these rice syrups, and I'm trying to think about all the sweeteners that they have in them, the whey protein, the soy lecithin. Look at the labels. If you don't know what those ingredients are, then Google them. Find out for yourself. For the snacks like the granola bars or the cookies, I say get back to baking. People do not bake as much as they used to. You know what? It doesn't take a lot of time. And if you're worried about finding the healthier recipes, what I say is find a recipe. Substitute with maybe a healthier flour. Substitute with, instead of white sugar, use some more brown sugar. Use some honey to sweeten it. Use some dates. Use some raisins. Bananas in a recipe. A cookie recipe will give it a sweetness. Add some honey to it and cinnamon, and flavor it up that way. No need to add the sugar. Cut back on the sugar on all the recipes that you see. They always have too much sugar in them. Add some organic chocolate chips to add a little bit of sweetness to it, or take a really good organic chocolate bar, chop it up into pieces. If your child can have nuts, use raw nuts and seeds in the recipe, ground up fine. You can even grind your own almond flour in a little food processor or a coffee grinder. You can grind buckwheat oats, grouts. You can grind steel cut oats to make a flour. That works really well for cookies and muffins. So there are many things you can do. Baking does not have to take a long time. Bake, put it in the freezer. Have your child help you bake. Put it in the freezer and it's there for them. Please, just take a look at some of the packaged granola bars and cookies and crackers and snack foods that are out there. Don't get fooled by all natural ingredients or no preservatives. If they can sit on a shelf for any length of time, don't tell me there's no preservatives in them. They would go bad. If you bake a muffin and you put it on your counter for, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, you know it's going to become moldy. You know that if you bake a cookie, it's going to become moldy after a certain amount of time if it sits on the counter. So you know that these packaged foods have preservatives in them. It's only common sense. So my tips for you are do the baking. Let your kids eat as much fruit and vegetables, natural fruit and vegetables, as they want. Be conscious of when they really don't like something, because it could be something going on physically inside of them. Listen to them, respect their feelings, try not to make dinner a time of stress and anxiety. Try not to argue with them, try to talk with them, understand them. Let them go, walk away from the table, and then later if they're hungry, then feeding them nutritious food, and see if maybe there's a pattern there. Maybe that will work for them. Try to cut rid of the sweets, the Tostitos, the bags, the flavored chips, the flavored tortilla chips, which are full of preservatives. When you consume a lot of preservatives, food dyes, colorings, etc., it plays with the chemical imbalance inside your brain. There are so many kids now with ADD, ADHD, and autism that we have to take a stand. It is time to get the junk out of their food. Same with soda pop. That has got to be ended. Water, filtered water is what kids should be drinking because that's what their body needs. I will be putting some recipes on my blog, kid-friendly recipes that I find kids will like, so stay tuned for those. Otherwise, please feel free to email me or send me any comments because I will answer your questions and I'd be happy to help. Thank you and good luck with the kids.